We have some further updates coming up. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz warned that a dictated peace in Ukraine would encourage Russian President Vladimir Putin to seek his next target. Speaking to the Bundestag, Merz said Russia's recent violations of Polish and Romanian airspace reflect a long-term pattern of boundary testing and sabotage. He stressed that any peace deal must respect Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, warning that without a peace, without freedom, would empower Putin further. Listen in to what German Chancellor Friedrich Merz had to say.
Ein Diktatfrieden, ein Frieden in Unfreiheit, eine Kapitulation. Und nichts anderes haben wir heute Morgen hier gehört. Eine Kapitulation würde Putin nur dazu ermutigen, sich sein nächstes Ziel zu suchen. Meine Damen und Herren,
Merz also announced plans to visit countries outside the transatlantic region to discuss trade relations, emphasising that new global agreements are vital for Germany's export-oriented economy. We're now joined by Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar, who once again is a senior strategic defence expert, and he joins us live once again from New Delhi. Thank you very much. We have seen incursions from Russia within the past week. 19 incursions into Polish airspace and 1 incursion into Romanian airspace. This has, of course, raised alarms in the east. And, of course, diplomacy has seen to falter in recent times, moving towards a peace deal. These words from Merz saying a dictated peace would only encourage Putin to strike again. Do you agree that anything short of full Ukrainian sovereignty risks rewarding aggression here?
You see, Merz's stand, the Chancellor's stand is consistent with what the European Union stand has been on this war so far. There has been a difference of opinion, I would say, with regard to how Trump visualizes this entire thing and how the European Union visualizes the same. And therefore, there was a meeting in Washington where all the European leaders were there to discuss this aspect with Trump. So what is emerging now is that the Chancellor is rather addressing more to his domestic audience, at the same time to the EU partners, and also sending us a signal to Moscow that Zelensky will continue to fight. European Union is going to stand by him, and in terms of political strength, in terms of military strength, and in terms of diplomatic strength, the European Union is going to be with Zelensky. But he fails to understand one thing, because in case you prolong this war, and you see it's now 4 years, and what I'm seeing now is there is an escalation from Moscow. And this escalation, today itself, there was a reported news that the rail infrastructure has been targeted in central Ukraine, and especially the logistics which moves along these rail infrastructure. 23% of the entire rail infrastructure of Ukraine has been destroyed by the Russians. And more than 54 power stations, sub-power stations have been finished. So in case you want to prolong this war, you can keep on urging Zelensky to fight, because he is not able to counter this offensive. We are seeing 4 major areas where the Russian has launched offensive in the last 15 days. And there has been huge losses on part of Ukraine. So if you want this war to end, you have to accept a certain loss of territory. You just can't say sovereignty is affected.
Yes.
Because in a war, there is bound to be a loss and there is bound to be a gain, and you have to accept this loss at this stage. If 20% of Ukraine has to be given away to stop the war, so be it, because the Russians are not going to relent on this, and Putin has made it absolutely clear to Trump that this condition of ours, as far as territory is concerned, is non-negotiable.
Okay, we do have more updates coming out of the conflict. Do stay with us. Russia's space chief